Hello, welcome to my YouTube channel. Nice to be here. So, I've come to some revelations, as I mentioned earlier, about the whole twin flame relationship and what that is about. After some deep contemplation, healing, meditation, I have come to realize that um, the whole twin flame thing is actually the mind and the heart. The mind speaking, listening to the heart speaking to the mind, the divine masculine, the divine feminine, the rational, the emotional, the merge of this whole holy being. And, you know, for a lot of us, it's that's been through that whole spiritual awakening. It is one part of the story of our awakening is often to project this deep, deep love and bliss that we feel inside of us, the Kundalini awakening, the power that ignites through our sexual energy, through our connection to the divine, to the earth, to the mother and the father. And again, you see the two energies, electromagnetic. Everything is this in this dualistic reality. So we will project the completion of ourselves through our divine masculine or feminine outside of us, which is our partner at the time. And so that's a whole thing in itself, and it's so big on in the spiritual world that I wanted to talk about that because when you're in it, you really believe it. It's very powerful, and there's so many books written about it. There's lots and lots, tons of videos out there about the twin flame, and I know spiritual teachers that talk about their twin flame relationships and all that. But really, this whole reality is about you connecting to your own divinity, your higher self, your soul, your eternal self, right? So that's why we're here, is to ascend into that higher being. Now, we ascend through death to a certain extent, but we also ascend in our own reality into spiraling into higher kind of frequencies and dimensional reality. And in these times of extreme transition and transformation on the planet, it's happening through us and is being reflected outside through the way that we are understanding ourselves as part of reality creators, as God created beings. And the more we connect to that, um, the more we can start to feel this powerful energy flowing through us. And again, energy flows where attention goes. We amplify what it is that we focus on, which is why the laws of vibration and frequency are so important, because this is what will manifest. So yes, we can plunge into some negative energies and that, but I find that for myself, it's quicker and quicker. I'm easy to get out quickly out of those lower vibrations or shadow aspects. And I'm not bypassing shadows. I've been in shadowland. I live and work there. I've with my clients, and never to bypass what it is that we are needing to process, to go through, to walk through, the valley of the shadows, and to transcend that, to come out of it, to understand that that whole thing is about us understanding what it's like to um, to come from that. We are leaving behind these lower frequency energies and realities in order to ascend into, you know, the Aquarian age, the higher octave human that is happening through us as us. And with our focus, we can actually become that and shapeshift into what it is that is required. So, we can regenerate our cellular system over and over again through the breath, again, through our intention, through speaking to our cellulars, our cells, our organs. This is what, all of the Qigong and yoga and breath work and all that is all about. And so, and as we transition from one cycle of our lives into another, I'm personally going through that right now. Big changes, big changes. And I want to harmoniously flow into this next cycle of my life. And so again, coming back to the twin flame, it's really your relationship to your heart and your mind communicating together. And when that is happening, you are merging these energies. And the Kundalini is about that energy working together to, create this chi, this flow of energy that you keep recharging and regenerating and recharging and regenerating. Just like you would plug in your battery, you charge through the breath, you charge through your mindset, your intention, and who you are becoming or joining into your higher self. So this is a process. This is an ongoing journey. It never ends. And where I am now is this place of deep acceptance of what is happening in the world as a way, as a chaos that is expressing itself in order to create, to streamline in more harmony, more beauty, more life as we leave behind. I would say it's a bit of maybe a death cult, or like some of us who went deep down the rabbit hole with the information of a certain control that's been on the planet for a very long time and is leaving the planet, and not leaving so easily, but we are joining our forces to really bring that energy into the new earth reality that we are co-creating, if that's where we're putting our focus, right? Like a laser beam, you can say, this is what I want, this is what I don't want, and keep going in the direction of your dreams and your life and your lifestyle and your participation in this new earth venture. That, so as we leave behind what we grew up in and the systems that, many people are still attached to, and they're just, that's just, they can't really think outside of those boxes, because that's just the nature of the situation. And some of us who always felt like things are, I don't know, there's seems to be, it's very dense here, it's very difficult to understand these laws and these, structures and authority and all these things. And why can't we be more free? Why can't people just, why can't I trust myself? Why do I have to listen to someone else to tell me what's best for me, for my body, for my mind? When I know because I know from a soul level. So yeah, to me, this is the whole story that is unfolding right now in our humanity, is that we need to release those power structures and authority figures that we think, they know best, when really the intuition is what knows best. It knows best what's right for us, for our bodies, for our connection with the divine, with our nature, with the nature around us. When I created the Regeneration Oasis, this was the whole point, is to regenerate and connect to your divine nature in nature, because often when we go silent and we stop the distractions, this is when we can go in and find the deeper truth that is within us. And the truth is that you have your own truth. You have your own um, you know, blueprint. Basically, you have an essence, you have a unique design that was created by the divine, and the more you tune into that, the more you can trust it, because it is an absolute divine plan. And so, you know, explaining this in words is not always that easy, as I've mentioned before, but I'm learning to, I use this platform to express and to share my truth of what I've come to self realize through my own, you know, pain and mistakes and lessons and so many things that bring us awareness, right? And that's ongoing as a human, you know, until but we choose also the energy daily. And I have daily practices, which is and they change all the time because I like change. I'm not afraid of it. I think it stimulates us. And I think if we go a little bit beyond our comfort zone, we are always living, you know, and maybe that's not for everyone too, being a little bit on the edge. In permaculture, it's where we know that their life is thriving always within the edge, and exciting things are happening there. And so that's where we are right now in our evolution. We are on the edge and breakthrough of into, creating new systems and you know, at every level, monetary systems, school systems, holistic health, instead of giving our power away to structures that are profiting big time from us being um, divided, sick, distracted, eating, you know, very unhealthy foods, polluting us on a all of that has to go. It has to end. And water, number one, I have this beautiful water that I bless every morning. It's water that is from the springs out here in the mountains. I'm lucky enough that I can go and get this water. And I would suggest that you take care of your water. It is 75% of your body, of our planet as well, the same percentage, which is not a coincidence. We are made from the same stuff. And just a reminder that the water can crystallize into beauty, beautiful patterns, health, or it can be polluted and all of that. And the same is with our body, with our mind, with our the way we think. You know, are we thinking in distorted, polluted ways? Or are we thinking in beautiful, healthy, interconnected ways? So yeah, that is what I wanted to share. And again, the twin flame thing, I would highly recommend that you, if you're in that situation, or if you know someone who is, and that's difficult because I did have friends that spoke to me about the twin flame. And when I was in it, I just was like, no, no, you don't understand. I'm in a twin flame relationship and this is what it is, and blah, 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 blah. And I was going to psychics and tarot readers, and I was convinced. I had convinced myself, I had romanticized myself into believing this story of the twin flame. When in reality, all it was my higher self and my human self merging, and this deep love and bliss was happening through my spiritual awakening, through my kundalini, through my own energy that I was projecting onto somebody else. So it's not about the other person, and it's not, this is what we need to. And when you're someone who has always cared about other people, you know, having children and community, and it's always externalizing your love, giving it out, like just pouring it out, right? Which is unhealthy. It's when your heart is so open, and yet you're not balancing the mind and the heart together. And that's when you become more whole and complete, because you're not out of balance. So if you're only in your mind thinking rational, I need to plan this, I need to plan that, and everything has to be in its place, and well, then your mind is taking over and you're not settling into the heart. And vice versa, if you're in your heart all the time, and you're giving and giving, and then you're depleted and you don't know why, it's because you're not taking the time to think and to say, whoa, where are my boundaries here? How much is enough? How much is too much? So we need to become these, the mastery is about mastering our energy field. And so that's what, yoga is union with the divine. So it's not just about flexing and making all these, beautiful poses and angles. And that's great. But that's to help the body become calm enough to be able to align with, the prayer, which is mm, blessed water. And so the prayer is, the mind and the heart listening, taking the time to merge these two together and creating the twin flame dynamic that is the holy person. So that's what I wanted to share about that. And I have my little Sedona crystal here that I love. So beautiful. And this crystal amplifies everything. So if you meditate with it, you can place it on different parts of your body. Sometimes, when I need to speak and I feel still a little nervous when I speak. So I help myself. Sometimes it's to focus, So crystals are amazing amplifiers, especially the quartz crystals. So something to keep in mind. And I would like to read a little prayer that I read this morning, and I thought, wow, this one is really powerful. And it's on the Tao, which is the spirit. Divine circulation animates my being. And again, reminding us of the flow. Oh, hi, Vanessa. Wonderful. I'm glad. I'm glad to connect. Yeah, if anybody needs to share, wants to, communicate, now's the time. If not, I have my coaching services that I do now. Thanks, Vanessa. And yeah, I'm here for assistance in these times. I do that on the side. I do have a part-time job. I do many different things because I like it that way. I don't like to do the same thing every day. Yeah, it flows through us. So the spiritual energy, the Tao, and there is nothing outside of this energy. There is a spiritual presence that pervades the universe, welling up in our consciousness, always proclaiming itself to be the source of your being. The enlightened ones of the ages have told you that your recognition of life is God within you, recognizing itself in everything you do. Say, I know there is one mind, one spirit, and one body, the mind of spirit and the body of God, the universal wholeness, the ever-present good, and the all-sustaining life. Every organ, every function, every action and reaction of my body is in harmony with the divine creative spirit. I could not ask for more. Greater could not be given. I seek to realize the significance of this one mind and this one body. I now become aware that the one mind is acting through my body in accord with its own divine perfection, peace, and harmony. The divine circulates. Ooh, oh, wow. I guess my computer's agreeing with me. That's funny. The divine circulates through me automatically, freely. Every atom of my being is animated by its action. I know that at all times I have a silent, invisible partner walking with me and talking with me, operating through me. Continuously, I keep my mind open to this guidance, to the inspiration and its illumination. So again, who's walking with you all the time, giving you advice? It's your higher self, it's your soul, not your partner, not the government, not your doctor, not your neighbor, not your nobody else knows your holy whole truth. And that's why we meditate and we stop and still the mind and to connect everything together and to feel that deep inner peace that no matter what's going on outside, you have this deep, deep inner peace inside that nothing can stir. Like inside of a hurricane, there's peace in the middle. So in these times of big changes, changes of the ages, change of the guard of the old structures, the old colonial patriarchal structures that built these systems to benefit themselves. And we all benefited that, as some of us born in the West, definitely, and others in other countries, not so much. So this is where we start to see ourselves as one whole planet, sharing the resources and becoming our next level, where we can actually stop these wars and these things, but starting with ourselves. The number one war is within ourselves. So love yourself, take care of yourself, give yourself that love, and don't just keep pouring it out into other people or projects, or trying to save the world and the planet. The planet is fine. She's going to be good with or without us, but if we take care of ourselves, then we can be the healthy cells in the body of this whole planetary being, and even connect with others from much higher frequency planets and universes and galaxies that we come from or go back to, or eventually we'll be able to communicate with these beings. For me, I feel like that's happening also. That's part of the higher self and the galactic self, or the cosmic self, the soul that space travels through space-time, lands, goes somewhere else, comes back. So you're not as attached either to one body or one planet, because your soul is free to go wherever it wants to. So that's my message for today. Boop, boop. A little bit of galactic there. I got my, tattoo that remind me you're not just a human, you're an eternal cosmic being. And so are you. So is everyone. Just have to remember and connect to the source. May the force be with you. Da, da, da. Okay. Ciao. Bye.